Plaintiff Rochelle Bentley says she and the defendant were friends, and she agreed to babysit the defendant's children. Rochelle claims the county was supposed to pay a portion of her wages, and the defendant agreed to pay the remainder, but she failed to do so Rochelle's suing. Defendant Chelsea Mark says she and Rochelle were close, but she soon discovered that Rochelle had a bad attitude and thought she was better than everyone else because she comes from money. Chelsea denies owing Rochelle for anything.
Start with you.
Well, first I'd like to say it's an honor to be here. I saw you on TV at the Floyd Mayweather fight, and I must say you were the most handsome next to Diddy and Rick Ross. It's very
Thank you.
It's very unfortunate that I'm here, suing a good friend of mine. She is a good person, but I do consider her quiet and sneaky. The only reason why is because we used to hang out together, same circle, so we had some of the same friends, and we were hanging out one day, and a friend of ours texted me to go on a date, and I mentioned it to her, and she told me that she was dating him. I didn't know none of this.
How'd that conversation turn out between the
Yeah, it wasn't a big confrontation considering, we're friends, and there's plenty more boys, we just let it go. It wasn't a big deal.
Why don't you give me some background on your friendship?
Your Honor, me and Rochelle and her sister were very close, but I came to find out over the years that she is more like an evil twin. She has a really bad attitude, and I think that she thinks she's superior to others because she comes from money. What
has she done to demonstrate that?
Just her attitude towards others.
You want to explain whether you have a bad attitude toward people and whether you feel you're superior to people because you come from money?
Well, that's just her saying,
Right.
She doesn't know my personal situation. I did not come from money. What I have, I've earned. I do childcare, which is why we're here. So I don't personally.
Well, that's what she meant by you come from money. Maybe she meant you come for money.
Yeah.
Money that she owes you.
Me.
That's what
That's
you would
what it
say.
is.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't hear it sometimes. All right, go ahead. What else you want me to know?
When we were younger, we always looked out for each other. There was a time that we went to the movies, and we went to see a scary movie, and I was too scared to be home by myself. So they let me spend the night at their house so that I wouldn't be home
That
alone.
proves that I'm a nice person. I allowed her, since she was scared, to come to my house.
When you did it, you had a bad attitude. You did it, but you had a bad attitude when you did it. Let's get to you. That's what she would suggest, I guess. The unpaid wages you're suing her for. How so?
I provided child care for her 2 children. And we had an agreement with the county where we live that they would pay up to a certain amount, and then she is to pay the rest. I have signed documents stating that.
You have one from her?
Yeah, signed document. It's a legalized document.
Saying what she would pay you?
Yeah. This is from the county of Riverside.
No,
stating,
I don't need the county. The county didn't babysit. The question is, did she agree to pay you
Yeah, because
something?
she signed it.
Let's see. All right. What was her agreement with you?
Okay, her agreement was that the county would pay up to a certain amount, and then after that, she pays the copay.
All right, and what was that amount?
$68 a week, which translates into...
So she agreed to pay $68 a week out of her pocket.
Right.
All right, and what happened?
After a period of time, she came to the conclusion that that was going to be too much, and so she canceled my services, which is fine. And so, I went to her and asked her, oh, could you pay, what is left?
What she owed already.
Right, correct. So I went to her and asked her, I gave her an opportunity to break it down and pay such and such amount on, by this date.
Payment plan.
Correct. But she didn't come front and say that she was going to be able to do that.
Okay. Ma'am? She says that she babysat for your children, and the agreement was you would pay $68 a week, which is listed as the copay in excess of what the county paid.
That was not our agreement. When I first talked to her, I have the document right here. She said that that I should go through the county because they have a daycare program, and that I wouldn't have to come out of pocket. And it says right here on this.
Okay, good. What is this you're showing me?
Facebook messages.
Let's see it. Ma'am, do you remember sending this as a Facebook message?
Yes, but then
I'm getting started on, so I watched the kid. There's a program that if you put me on your list, they will pay. You won't have to come out of pocket. Why are you saying she did?
Well, we had a verbal agreement when we sat down with the County of Riverside, and they told us that they would pay up to a certain amount.
I know what they may have told you all when you talked to the county. I'm saying what you told her when you all discussed it.
We made an agreement, verbally at the office. So
with the county,
right.
We already went over what she said with the county. Once again, we're at the agreement the two of you had together.
Yeah, but we went to the county.
Why'd you say that? Let's just get to that then. Why'd you say to her, you don't have to come out of your pocket?
At the time, I thought that they would pay the whole amount.
Did she agree to change this?
What do you mean by that?
You all have an agreement here where you told her you don't have to come out of your pocket. At some point, did she say, I agree to come out of my pocket? Now, let's change what we said earlier.
Well, after the fact that we found out that they wouldn't pay the whole amount.
Did she say it, ma'am?
No.
Okay, well then you can't change the terms of what you committed to. You don't have to come out of your pocket. Then suddenly you said, well, I think you do.
Well, but the thing was, after they said they weren't going to pay the whole amount, then I went, and we looked over paperwork and showed that they weren't going to pay the full amount, so then she was supposed to come out of pocket.
And did she agree to?
I think she did.
You think? Okay, that's not enough. And you say you never agreed to come out of pocket for any expenses?
No.
And she provides me with evidence where you told her she didn't have to. That's all I can go with. You thinking she might have is not enough because she shows me evidence where you said she didn't have to. So I can't grant your judgment on that. All right, case dismissed. Good luck to you, ladies.
We went and we agreed upon something verbally. I don't have personal proof of that. She's going off of old messages, before the fact when I offered my services at first.
I think that the initial agreement was that I wasn't going to have to come out of pocket, so how can she change the initial agreement a month, almost 2 months after our first agreement?
We'll still be friends. I don't hold any grudges.
I don't hold grudges either. I can forgive her.